Hello everyone, this is Sarg. And this new episode of mine, there's been quite a bit done. Well, a few hours of things. So it doesn't really look like that much. And what's been going on is, finally to this area right here, that's the kind of the crossbeam. I realized that has to be more diagonal instead of, well, kind of goes like a roof shape instead of just a straight line. To get the roof to fit directly in the right shape for the top area. But yeah, that's basically the top area right here. So I actually did mine out quite a bit of the area in general for this area up here. There's some geodes right there as well, like one's right there and one's right over that way. But this is basically the top area. This all right here has to be mined down all the way to -58. As you see, my y coordinate right there is 15. Yeah, all this literally has to be mined down to -58. Quite a bit of way to go. It'll be a big progress. I don't know if we'll get it all finished this episode, but we'll see. And I'll come back to you when I got a new update on what's going on. Just in case I haven't shown you, I also got Swift Sneak and a Mace. A little bit on a expedition. Kind of went down into the Trial Chambers and also Ancient City. And I decided to get that in the meantime. So it was kind of nice. Take a little break. Progress update. Mine this entire area out. Well, I still have to go down a lot. As you can tell, it's a place for lots of slimes to spawn now. But yeah, for the main majority to where the deep site is, all that's mined out. So I use Silk Touch for all of this because this makes it easier. But I don't normally use lots of deep site, and if you use Silk Touch deep site, you just get the deep site and you can't really turn it into anything else. So for this point, I'm going to be using my fortune pick. But yeah, this entire area, basically down to the deep slate layers, is now mined out. So the rest of it's deep slate from here on. Well, and there's still, of course, stone, minerals, stuff like that. But I'll still be using fortune, so I'll be getting cobblestone. And there's one of the geodes right here. And the other one is exposed a little bit over there, way over here. But yeah, I did tell you I'd make a progress update, and I know it took it did take several weeks because I only get really a lot of time to work. Like, on the weekdays, I get only a few amount of hours I can get. And on the weekends is when I get most of my progress done. Because I do actually work a full-time job. So. And I'm a night shift worker. Anyways. So this is basically what I got so far. So all of this, though, has to be taken down exactly to -58. As you can imagine, that's going to take a long time. I'm actually pretty inspired right now. Like, sometimes I get drained doing a lot of progress, but just thinking about the plans above in the future, that just keep me inspired. But yeah, so this down area right here, then all of this, though, has to be mined out. And so, yeah, just want to make sure you guys see what's going on. Keep you updated with what's going on. And I did, as I actually did get Swift Sneak. I did show that in a previous clip as well. But it's really helpful and helps me mine a lot faster. I honestly think it does, because when I'm actually mining up like those in the clips you saw, using walking kind of skips a few more blocks. Swift Sneak 3 is just a little bit, and I mean, like, just a very minuscule amount slower. But that helps a lot. It's a lot smoother. But I guess I'll come back when I got more progress, or I guess if I actually switch to building. I don't know whether I'll keep hammering away at this in between clips or building. But I do really want to get this area down here done. So I guess I'll just get back to it. Back to the past. I don't know if you guys know this or not, but did you know it's possible to find a pack of diamond of 19? Normally they spawn a max of 8 to 10, but if chunks interlope with each other, I guess you can find a pretty big pack. For instance, right here, just in this area, I was mining and I literally found a pack of 19. I'd say that's quite a substantial amount. That's pretty good. I just want to let you guys know. If any of you, if any of you guys ever found one, it'd be nice to know that in the comments down below. Okay, so I made some progress. Apparently slide someone to die. Well, anyways, it's not progress on this area specifically. Do you guys remember that ugly staircase? You know, I have like this one right here. Not been decorated at all, and I kind of started decorating the ceiling and stuff of this place first before I started doing this. Well, I actually thought of an aesthetic for this place. Green, I'm not so sure yet. I might actually change that into something different. I'm thinking about copper and like brown. So yeah. So I made something off camera. I did mean to record it, but I kind of forgot. Though it's not like it'll be the only one. I'll probably expand it more anyways, so you guys will get to see. But for the time being, I made a temporary bee farm back here. It looks quite ugly, but I need a honeycomb, specifically because, you know, copper oxidizes over time. And if I want it to stay that copper color without turning green, I need honeycomb, obviously. This farm is not very big, and it's not even existed for a full hour yet. But just I had to get bees and then bring them up, and then it's very simple stuff here, and it works good enough for the time being. I don't know why someone's back here. What up? I don't have blocks over here. Anyways, so how it works is basically us eat the hopper clock. I have it set for 32 blocks, and it will send a pulse every now and then, or via this redstone line, and right under this is like honeycomb. But especially, sadly, there's some loss. It's because I probably didn't build facing north. Bees are weird in Bedrock Edition. I don't know if I think it's just Bedrock. It might be Java too. But when you build a certain farm like this a certain way, the honeycomb comes out normally a certain way, whether it be north, south, east, or west. But if you build it in the wrong orientation, then you might get some areas of honeycomb leading through the cracks, which is definitely not ideal, but it's not like it's much. So overall, the results still more than why I lose. But I guess I'll have to build some blocks and try to find some way around that. And yes, I have lots of slime. Anyways though, I'll get back once I actually start gaining all the materials for the staircase. So a few things have changed. Finally got the staircase detailed. Looks a lot better than it did. Decided to go with a pretty, it was like, I was thinking of doing a different pattern first, but after a lot of progress and building, kind of just got stuck with this. The fences right here might be subject to change. I'm not sure how I feel about it right now, but for the time being, it's going to stay. This part right here I do like, but I'm not sure if the chain color is the fence color is the one I'm looking for. But for now, I think it's going to do. And one thing that I do definitely like is the staircase being made of spruce, and the resin blocks along with the candles beside it. Overall color coordination looks pretty good. And then I also got this room done. So more so with dark oak, spruce, deep slate, and copper. Of course, I use the copper block instead of cut copper, which is more expensive this way. Because you get, well, not really exactly more expensive, but no, not one that's used as often. I see more people use cut copper than just normal copper blocks. But basically what I got in dark oak logs as well, and calcite around gold for the middle areas. So pattern basically copied from those areas, except with a different color coordination. The dark oak though definitely is going to stay, because it definitely matches well with orange, so the copper. I was thinking of at first about using resin, but I decided not to do that after all. So the dark oak logs, I might strip them, but I might keep them like this too, because not many people actually use logs with the bark on them. But I thought it doesn't look bad. And for this room, I did add a little bit more to the ceiling, but just still, because it helps with the slimes not dropping from the ceiling. One thing I will mention is I got very much upset when the slimes could dropping from the down and below and laying on my face when I'm trying to build. But overall, this is what I got so far, and I'm pretty satisfied with it. I'll come back to you and show you more once I got more done. Until then. Progress update. A lot more has been done. Though, of course, sadly, I don't think it's going to be finished in this episode. I'm starting to get a little burnt out of mining, but as you can see, a geode is finally exposed, and I've dug out this entire area right there. Of course, most of it still is, kind of covered. Though over 100 blocks of the 200 of the width of this area, or I should say length, is mined out. Because if 450 would have been halfway, and I got that mined out already, so over halfway of lengthwise. But considering the height, it's got a long way to go. Height and width still have definitely need to be mined out, a lot of that. The ores, though, that I've accumulated through the past time of this so far. Diamond. Redstone. Lapis. Iron, gold, and copper. That was the accumulation of everything right here. And not to counting materials like gravel, deep slate, tuff, cobblestone, diorite, granite, andesite, and other minerals are all compiled in all these chests. And they are all full. Except for like this stack right here. I have some stuff. Most of it's deep slate, tuff, and gravel though. But I think right now, for the time being, with the project I got so far, I probably should go on to the, I'd say, a little bit off the mining and more to, I guess, building. And after that, that'll have to conclude this episode. I've already had this episode out for a minute. A lot of progress. If you see the days played right there, a lot of days have passed. So I think I might as well just get to the building and end that episode there. And then next one, hopefully, most of that right there will be gone. You already see that there's another geode right there. Just about, right there. On top. And yeah, so that's basically how this thing has been going. Also, these pillars right here, each one will be covering a geode. But, of course, since the geodes are not in symmetry where they would want to be, because, you can't move them, I'm going to have to build one of those pillars around it, and also another pillar next to it, just for aesthetic purpose of making it look even. Since that one is pretty close to the center, I'm gonna have to build one that's either bigger or one that's basically like right there and one right there. I don't know exactly what I would do with that area specifically yet, but I'll let you know when I get back to it. But for the time being, I think it's about time I start building. And I'll catch you when that's mostly done. To what I got mined out anyways. So then. Now from here on, I have to officially recreate what I did with that diagonal angle for the first part of the roof to the second part, from all the way from corner to corner. This took a lot longer than it needed to, and it was just a pain. So it was something I decided to do later on that would make it a little bit easier. Alright, let's see how it looks. Well, we'll get these slimes out of the way first. Okay. Yep, it looks pretty symmetrical. I think that'll be good for this part. Now time to continue on with the building. And there we go. Or, I guess I go. Or, whatever. It's finished now. So, I guess the next thing I gotta do now is start working on the walls. And I'll conclude this episode. If you guys see right beside that post at the end, it's not at 3 blocks when it actually needs to be. So I had to actually remove this roof area, which was definitely not the most fun thing to do. It was a pain, but I got it done, and it looks really good when it was finally finished. And as you can see right here, I ran out of wood. So I need to get more. And watch. Magic! I got another full sugar box. Now I'm finally ready to go and finish this project. Hello, welcome back everybody. A little bit of stuff I did some off camera. I have a happy gas, can you see? I did know the roof was going to be difficult. So to make it easier on myself, I decided to get a happy gas. And that made it much easier to do the roof. This guy's be essential for this because I realized using scaffolding. I mean, scaffolding is great and all. But with some areas that are kind of hard to reach, and not so easy. One thing I totally forgot of was this right here. You notice I have this by 3 blocks. So just one singularly to cut this off. I realized the roof in Crime Scene for light. I kind of forgot about that. How that was 3 right there, and I kind of decided to build that right there. Not realizing that, oh yeah, I need to place those blocks there. So I got a happy gas specifically for that reason. So as I go up there, I'm gonna mine those blocks out and replace it with that layer. So yeah, that's what I've been doing here. And also, I got more progress on the room, and I'll be doing the other side right there. But once those things are concluded, that will conclude also this episode. So I know it's been over a month. I think it's been, honestly, I don't remember the amount of days. Maybe 2 months, 1 2 months. I don't know. But it will officially be done. And I'll get back to you as I get some progress being built on this once again. I will admit I was a total novice at building with happy gas. So it took me some time to learn the controls. But it was an interesting experience to know that. And I know the more I use it, the easier it'll be to build. But I will say it was much easier to use a happy gas to build the roof. I can't believe it took me this long to do this before. And I guess that's how you learn through experience. But anyways, that was just a really interesting experience. It was very helpful, and it made the roof much easier. I suggest if you guys are building a roof, I would suggest definitely get a happy gas. It makes it much easier. So I ran out of nether brick, or red nether brick, so I had to get some more nether bricks. So I went to my pickle and barring farm and got a few more nether bricks. Each square is 49 blocks. So I had to get around, for a full 4 squares, I had to get 196 blocks. That's how much it would have been, and 2 stacks for each stack of nether bricks, and then also 2 stacks of nether warts. So it was quite a bit, but I got all that completed, and then I went back to the overworld, if I know how to speak properly, and got everything I needed, and continued building on. And that's would be done. Alright. Alright. So after all this time, finally, everything that I wanted to complete in this video is done. The walls are fully designed. The floor, of course, basically just starting as slabs. It helps the slimes stop spawning. The shield has been exposed, as well as another one right there. It means it's nice to know that this area is getting more and more mined out. More details for the frame. Then also this staircase I also completed. Got a happy gas, bee farm right behind the staircase, and in this room, of course, as well. All of this has been finished throughout this episode. It's been going on for long enough, and I think it's about time I can finally conclude it. Well, I hope you guys enjoyed watching. I would ask that you guys stay inspired for all the time that you would play this game, especially with the many updates coming out later, of course, this year. We have no idea what they might be. It could be also, honestly, with you. I'm hoping it's going to be an end update. I know not many people go to the end, but getting that dimension updated would be nice. And I think that one time I heard Mojang say they might have to update that before they add another dimension to the game entirely. But maybe they'll, and since a lot of players don't go to the end, maybe they'll show some lore throughout the game in little areas that would give little spoilers about how to get to the end. That'd be pretty cool. But anyways, stay inspired. Continue to build, do your best. And this has been Sarg. Over and out.